So in case you hadn't been paying attention, there's apparently been a lot of drama taking place between Marjorie Taylor Greene and her former friends in the House Freedom Caucus. Now, the Freedom Caucus, for anybody who has not been paying attention to what those idiots have been doing for the last few years, that is the fringiest of the fringe, right? The craziest of the crazies. That's where you get your extremist ideas, your individuals who are pushing to impeach everybody that's a part of the Biden administration. These are the people who tried to fight Kevin McCarthy being their speaker because they still don't know why they were fighting. They just wanted to fight because they're a bunch of idiots. Well, that group recently expelled Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it's a big deal, right? Those were her best friends in Congress, but she decided to throw her lot in with Kevin McCarthy. She decided to go with McCarthy on the debt ceiling deal, didn't sit well with the Freedom Caucus. She called Lauren Boebert, quote, a little bitch on the floor of the House. And because of those reasons, and apparently many more, Greene had to go. Well, Raw Story was able to catch up with 3 Freedom Caucus Republicans. One of them, a current member of the Freedom Caucus, 2 of them, former members of the Freedom Caucus. And according to these people who have served their time within the Freedom Caucus, again, one of them is still there. They all spoke on the condition of anonymity, but they spoke exclusively to Raw Story. They say that the reason Greene was kicked out was because she was basically too crazy. Marjorie Taylor Greene was kicked out of the Crazy People's Club because she was too crazy. Apparently, even they have a limit. Like, hey, look, we're nuts, but she's a wacko nut. Let me read you some of these quotes from these current and former Freedom Caucus members. That's a big damn deal in there. You don't have to agree with everybody. What you do have to effing do is not violate anyone's confidence. I can never remember anyone ever yelling at anyone in a Freedom Caucus meeting. Ever. They're just a big group of wackos getting along with each other because they're all just crazy lunatics in the same caucus. Another one said, the sort of code of the members, you disagree with somebody, you still don't burn them down because it's important for you to be able to have an honest discourse. What's important to Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't know the answer to that question. That's rhetorical. It may have backfired, but it may not have. She may have gotten exactly what she wanted. Who knows? I'll tell you what's important to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Getting her name out there. Doing these crazy outlandish things so that people talk about her. I mean, even before Marjorie Taylor Greene came into office, she went to Washington, D.C., went into Congress, started harassing Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez through the mail slot in her door. She got the whole thing on video looking like the Joker from The Dark Knight. Horrific, horrible thing, but she loved every second of it. Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Because she just wants to be out there. She wants to be discussed. That's what's important to her. That's why she had that confrontation with Lauren Boebert on the floor of the House. Now, that is a conversation that, if it needed to take place, should have taken place in private. Greene wants everybody to see her antics because she wants to be seen. But they continue. This is, of course, referring to her calling Boebert a bitch. You can't say things like that. I really don't understand these people who will say crazy things just to get in the papers, and maybe that's her personality. I would never say anything like that. But that's the point. And I love that this individual, and it sounds like this one is the one who's still in there. I like that you use the word crazy, because that's what this is. Not just her, but the entire Freedom Caucus. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene was welcomed into the Freedom Caucus with open arms. Because it's a bunch of people just like her. Now, she may be the more extreme on that spectrum, but they're all a little nutty. None of them have any plans on how to actually do anything decent for the United States of America. None of them have any actual policy positions that are going to help working class Americans. And that's what's important here. They are all, to a degree, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She just got a little too big for her britches, right? She got a little out there. She did the things in public that they're only supposed to do in private. and that's why she had to go. It's not because she's too crazy for them. It's because she's the only one that was in that group that didn't feel she had to hide her crazy anymore. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.